Hey, what's going on, guys? We are back with another YouTube video. And I want us to talk about something that's very real and that is very authentic to our own experiences right now. And that is that we are just genuinely our greatest enemies. It is not nobody else but ourselves. And I think we should take a deep dive and really have an honest conversation about it. Now, for myself, I have genuinely gotten in the way so many times and have come to the point where I'm just like, man, I really self sabotaged on this. If I just stuck with what was right in front of me, I would be so much better off. But I didn't. And eventually I had to pay the price for it. But it does not have to be that way. And for yourself, I know you can imagine all of these things where you've lost opportunities, where you've lost so many great and amazing things that could have been literally in the palm of your hands, but it just slipped away. And we can't get any of that time back as much as we'd really, really like to. And that's okay. But I want us to go with a little personal story that could help you today watching through the screen on how to actually stop getting in your own way and stop being your own enemy. So, when I had started the gym, it was something to behold, quite literally. Being able to transform my body in a way that I don't even know if that was even possible. Maybe I thought it was, or maybe I didn't. I really don't know, but it was such a beautiful experience. But one of the biggest factors into my development was my dieting. I could train as hard as I could. I know how to push myself, but when it came to dieting, there was always something about it. And it kind of just stemmed from that I just really wanted to be my own personal eater. I wanted to eat everything and not worry about anything. It's like everything's for me. But with that kind of mentality, there's no way that you're going to be able to diet properly. There's no way that you're able to actually really see results. And that's when I became my biggest enemy. And it came to the point where I just really had to tell myself, how bad do I actually want this? And do I even want this at all? And I really had to sit with that, right? And sometimes I even do sit with those thoughts. How bad do I want this? And I have to come to a decision saying, yes, my yeses are yeses and my nos are always going to be nos. So when I say yes, I'm going to do something, I am going to do something. And that is the big key in every single thing that you do today. Think about all the times where you have just came to a point where you were just like, maybe. The biggest word of all time that can deter anyone is maybe. Maybe it might come from a point where it genuinely sounds nice, but there's no fine line to it. I think if we are more gun ho about our decisions, whether yes or no, we will come to a point where we feel more and more liberated because there's no swirling in our heads of thoughts. So, what we are actually trying to fix here is a decision making problem and a commitment problem. So, we are going to fix this by, as I had already previously said before, you start with your yeses and you start with your nos. There is no such thing as maybes anymore. Yes, you'll do it, or no, you will not be doing it. And the quicker that you are able to make those decisions and be authentic to yourself, the less and less and less you'll be able to be in your own way. How does this correlate? If I said yes to actually starting a business venture, right? And I know that I'm a person of integrity and character and I will stick with it, I will be less likely to get in my own way. When you have that resolve for yourself, it is so much harder to really break. And because it is so hard to break, it was what is going to make you resilient. So, when your yeses are yeses and your nos are nos, this is how we come to the point of becoming a true decision maker for ourselves, right? But so many of us can say, yeah, I have integrity, I have this, and that. But when I say yes and no, it kind of just becomes words, right? This is one of the biggest things. This is when we actually come into commitment, right? Words can be words unless they are actually backed by action. Someone can tell you, yes, 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 they'll do something, but until they actually do it, it is just talk. It is just idle speech. Anything that is said out of your mouth should always be backed by action. And when you practice these two together every single time, it becomes habit and it becomes ingrained in your nature. And when it becomes ingrained in your nature, it simply just becomes that kind of person that you are. So to genuinely recap on how we are going to fix this problem, one, we start with our yeses and our nos. Number two, we start with our commitments and being able to follow through with them. And some may say they might be interchangeable, but it is very much intertwined. Stick with these concepts, follow through with them, and you will generally be able to stop being your own enemy. All right?